I forgot to include this in my video. Before you guys watch this video, I just want to know, trigger warning, I am showing some of the crime scene photos and of autopsy pictures. So if you are squeamish, I recommend you don't watch this video. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy and let me know what you think. What's up, YouTube? This your girl Samantha Speaks, and welcome back to my channel. Hey, sweetie squad, what's up, my lovies? Happy Saturday. All right, guys, as you guys see, no cat ears on, so you guys know this is going to be a serious video. This is going to be one of my crime stories, and this story I'm about to tell you guys, I want to know in the comments down below, as always, have you guys ever heard of this story, and what do you feel about it? So this is going to be the story of Elijah Snow, murdered in paradise. And people are saying that it was an accident. Really? Okay, let's get into this story. So 35-year-old Elijah Snow was a firefighter, an amazing girl dad. He had 2 beautiful daughters and a beautiful wife of 10 years. 10 years. And on July 19th, Jamie, his now widow, was wife, her whole life has changed. Her whole life was shattered by just, this case, honestly, I read about it, I believe, a couple of months ago, and I kind of just briefly read, but now knowing the details I know, I was like, that's it. I have to do a story on it. So if you guys don't know, it's right now the most popular story on People magazine. It is the cover story, but I've not heard of a YouTuber doing it. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. Like I said, Elijah Snow, 35 years old, his wife Jamie, 35 years, they went to Cancun, Mexico, and they went to celebrate their 10-year anniversary. On their very first night there, very first night, everything changed. So they basically were out, they were hanging out together, everything was fine. And he decided to go down to the bar, and I'm gonna say the name of the resort they were staying at. They were staying at the Royalton Chic Cancun Resort. That's where they were staying. And he went to head down to the bar in the in the hotel lobby because it closed at 10:30. So he wanted to get one last drink in, one little last nightcap. He was never seen alive again. The next morning, his wife wakes up. She's looking for him everywhere. Everybody is looking for him. And the hotel staff tell Jamie, which is his wife, that he was found next door at the other hotel resort, hanging out of a bathroom dead. A bathroom window dead. Now, I'm going to be popping up pictures as I always do when I do my stories. I honestly was like, what? First of all, he wasn't even found in his resort that he was staying at. He was found next door. Sketchy. Secondly, he was found dead hanging out of a bathroom window. That doesn't even sound plausible. So here's what happened. So basically, they're saying that when he was found, he was found with his hunched over, and they're saying that he suffocated to death. His feet were still dangling in the bathroom on the floor, and his body and arms were hanging out of the window. They're saying that he suffocated to death. When he left with $100 cash on him. Now, his wallet was found inside of his pocket along with his IDs and his credit cards, but his $100 was gone. His $100 was gone, and this wife is in this country she doesn't know of, and she is now without her husband. She's getting phone calls from the family like crazy, trying to figure out what's going on, and Jamie can't answer them because she doesn't know what happened. She doesn't even know. She's just as shocked as everyone else is. Now, here's where it gets so sketchy. His father, her father-in-law, hurried up and flies to Cancun, Mexico, because obviously his son is dead. He wants to know how this happened. He asked for the cameras of the resort, and the resort says they can't give it to him because it was an accidental death. It was not a murder. I would have thought that anybody dying on your property, you would need to hand over footage to the proper authorities. That's the first story. The second story that they told the police is that the cameras weren't working at the time. Which one was it? You don't want to give it over because it was an accident, or the cameras weren't working. So right there off top, sounds sketchy. Then they decided to put it on his death certificate, murdered without suspect. So it wasn't accidental. He was murdered. Jamie didn't know what to do. Jamie just knew she wanted to get herself and her husband out of that country. Elijah's his last wishes were he to be cremated. Jamie didn't really want to do that because she obviously wanted to do a full autopsy. Well, let me go ahead and tell you how she was able to identify her husband. They wouldn't even show her his actual body. They made her show him the camera. They made him show on the computer, made him show a picture of his face on the computer. And then when she says, "No, I want to see my husband's body," the guy at the morgue says, "Oh yeah? Do you got money? Money? I need money to identify my husband." And she asked to take pictures of him. And he said, $100 a picture. This country is making profits from a grieving widow. How disgusting are you? Then Jamie's father-in-law and Jamie decide that they are going to have the funeral in Cancun, Mexico, because they need to go ahead and just be done with this and get him cremated and get him back to his hometown. However, they decide they want to do their own autopsy, their own investigation. So after the funeral, after everything's done, Jamie and her father-in-law goes in the back and looks at her husband. She said it was the most out-of-body experience she's ever had, and it was the most, she has PSTD, I think that's how you say it. She's haunted for life by what she saw. So they're claiming that first he suffocated to death, correct? He was trying to escape a window and he suffocated. First off, he probably was trying to escape. He probably was trying to get away from whoever was killing him, whoever was attacking him, because what I'm about to tell you next is going to blow your mind. So while taking the pictures of her husband, they noticed bruises, scratches on his arms, and gashes on his head. So he had scratches up and down his arms, the two biggest bruises she ever saw, okay, on the inside of his thigh. On the inside of his thigh. So basically, in her mind, somebody is stepping on her husband, basically smashing him with a foot because it looked like the size of a boot. I think she said a size 12 almost, was stepping on her husband's stomach. And obviously he was moving and it hit him in his inner thigh. Sounds correct. Then she said it looked like a work boot. So she was saying that obviously that's how the bruising got on his stomach. Then you should say on his back. On his back, it was 4 bruises looking like somebody was holding him down. Basically, holding him on his shoulders and knees on his back. How, if he suffocated through the window, how did he end up with 4 bruises on his back? Scratches on his arms, bruises. Then it says here that it looked like something was hit, like he was hit in his back with something circular. Okay. The back of his head was also covered in bruises, along with 2 gashes on his head. She said one was fairly deep and had a cylinder shape, and the one on his forehead almost looked like a pipe or a bat. She said she'll never, ever be able to get those images of her dead husband out of her head. Ever. And like I said, she decided to give him his final wishes, which was to be cremated. So she cremated her husband and went ahead back to her hometown. Now, like I said, this grieving widow just wants answers. That's all she wants. And Mexico is basically booting her out, telling her, go home, go home. Kind of sounds familiar. Y'all remember the Natalie Holloway case, right? Remember when Beth Holloway was over there for so long and all the villagers and everybody was trying to tell her, get out of Aruba, get out of our hometown. So why do you guys want this grieving woman gone so far? It's so bad. Is it because you guys are hiding something? Is it because of a cover-up? If you ask me, I'll go ahead and say this. I believe that her husband was lured to the hotel next door. I don't exactly know how, but I believe that he was attacked, he was robbed, and that he was trying to escape his attackers by obviously getting out of the window, and they hitting him in the back of the head and it making him either die instantly or become unconscious. And that's where they left him. And obviously he died overnight or died slowly by either blood vessel popping, headache, trauma. Something obviously killed this man. You cannot tell me that this man suffocated through a window. So as I said, I put pictures up. Look at the window. Does the window really look as in you could get stuck in? Other people said that they believe he was killed and then stuffed through the window. I'm going to go with my first theory. I truly believe that he was trying to escape his attackers, and that's when they got him, when he was trying to get out the window. Because he was found hunched over, hands in front, face down against the wall on the outside, and his feet still dangling in the bathroom. It's just so sad that you go to get away, to go out. She even said she heard of nightmares of resorts. And that's why they decided to stay to the resort. That's how she doesn't understand how her husband got next door. He went downstairs for a nightcap just to have one last drink. That last drink certainly wasn't $100. So where is the rest of his money? If it was an accident. Then I guess to just hush her, to get her out of the country, you decided to put on his death certificate, murder without suspect. And then on top, you won't release the footage? I'm not saying that the cops in Mexico are corrupt, but why are they not forcing this out of the hotel to give them the tapes? It honestly kind of sounds like the Kanika Jenkins thing. That the camera, y'all didn't want to give the camera, the footage over to the mother or the police. It's just crazy. You go on vacation to relax, to get away, not to be murdered. And now Jamie has to live with raising her two beautiful daughters all by herself. And she's left with what happened? What happened? My husband went to the bar to get one last drink. Why did my husband end up dead, stuffed in a window that he was big enough to fit through? Okay. The window was big enough for him to fit through. And y'all call it an accidental death, suffocation. I don't think suffocation can lead to gashes on your head, bruises on your inner thigh, scratches up and down your arm, a big bruise, a gash across his forehead. Somebody killed this man. And I pray for justice. And I pray that Jamie gets her answers. And I pray that whoever did this is going to be at fault very soon. So we need people to speak up. And I just feel like people know something. And they're just not talking. And it's just so sad. It's so sad that they were celebrating their 10-year anniversary. Jamie even said it. Before this, they had what you call the picture perfect family. He was a firefighter. His life was saving lives. And someone took his. Tell me the justice in that. I'll see you guys on my next video. As always, stay beautiful, stay blessed. I'm your girl, Samantha Sweets. Love y'all. Bye.
Boy, I'm feeling your vibe. If you're ready, let's ride. Have both sides, everything is alright when I'm next to you. When I'm next to you. Boy, you're thinking my type. If you're ready, let's ride. Kick it all night, everything is alright when I'm next to you. When I'm next to you. So tell me what you think. Promise that I won't take